Back in
The
business.
green man. You've heard of the blue man. Well, I'm the green man.
You're the jolly green giant.
Right.
So, Derek,
Right. Where was we?
well, we was just on the last bit. You just had a catch. You just had a run. You had a nice £22. Was it mirror common?
Yeah. No, £22 mirror.
Yeah.
I'll keep this on my head because then I ain't got muck about when I go running out there.
Yeah.
Because my rods are down the bottom of a little slope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that. So yeah. I've spoken to you a bit about bait and everything else. It was like I like a pineapple wanger. When Mainline first brought out the pineapples, right? They were saving my bacon on quite a few features that I was doing.
Yeah.
I just used to put a pineapple wanger on and just whack it as far as I could.
Yeah.
And then 9 times out of 10, I'd catch a fish.
Yeah.
Because when we were working with the magazines, there was things that, like this month we're doing PVA, next month we're doing rigs, next month. And you have to do different things.
Yeah.
Well, if we're using a certain method and we got to use a certain bait, I still got to put a pineapple wanger out on one of my rods because you got 3 of them, haven't you, when you go to these places?
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's a little tip for you. When like when you're out and you got 3 rods, try 3 different things.
Yeah.
See which one works the best. You know what I mean? It's that's how you roll.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, you cannot believe. I was like the way I've been fishing, right? Let me just explain something, right? I said to him, we've got a chance to go to Fishbill. Do you want to come? So me and him went off to Fishbill. On the way out there, I said to him, well, before we went, I said, what you got to do is, for some people who don't know what amnesia is, it's not losing your memory. It was a material that was used when I did my first stiff rig, when I said to you about Stevie Alcott.
Yeah.
All right. So what I did, I tied up these rigs. All right. Let me just put this on for a second.
Yeah.
So I can get one. All right. And hang on, they're like bloody conkers and they're all tangled up. Hang on. I can get away any minute now. Oh, there's one. Right. All right, let's turn that off. Right.
Yep.
I don't know if you can see that. Look into my eyes. Do not look away. Hang on, let's stop it wobbling. All right, hang on. That is what. It won't keep still, will it? That is what I'm catching my fish on at the moment.
Yeah.
Right. I've got a little bait screw on it.
Yeah.
As you can see on the little hair bit, on the little circle.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if it's wobbling about, but
yeah.
I'm trying to hold a stand. I'm trying to not put the light on it.
Yeah.
And it's wobbling about all over the place.
Yeah.
But that is exactly what I'm catching my fish on.
Yeah.
That hook, I got a good one. Look up sly fish, because that's where I get all my end tackle from.
Yeah.
I get my little bait screws, my hooks, and that one there is a size 4 wide gape.
Yeah.
Right, and they are like raiders.
Yeah.
And what was happening? We were going to France.
Yeah.
And me and I'm not going to do this too long, but the one thing I want to show you is, if you can see it, look how long that rig is.
Yeah.
Right. And I'll hold it. So I'm trying there.
Yeah.
Look how long that rig is. All right. I'm using running lead. Hey, what did he just say? I'm using a running lead.
Yeah.
You know, most of you probably don't even know what running lead is. How many people do you know use a running lead with a big long length like that?
Yeah.
All right. It's how we roll.
Yeah.
It's how we roll. As I was saying, I went to Fisherville, and out there you got really deep silt. When you cast out, right, your lead, right, sinks right in, and you have to pull the lead out.
Yeah.
Right. So for starters, we was using 20-pound amnesia with that same setup that you saw there,
Yeah.
with the little loop at the back, right, and we were putting it out, right, and a big long hook length on it, but I was fishing helicopter style because I was burying it,
Yeah.
right. So I'd pull the lead out, and some of the people who were over there fishing, we see them in the bar in the night. That was strange, in the bar.
Yeah.
You know, we don't go in the bar, do we? And drink beer and get drunk and catch loads of fish. The drunker you get, the more you catch. And yeah, and I showed them what we were doing, and they'd been there a couple of days before, not caught nothing. All
Yeah.
they were catching was stinky old bloody bream and catfish.
Yeah.
As soon as I showed them the old rig and just boilies, we got on the frame sticked a load of bait out there. I took essential cell there
Yeah.
because it's nice and yellow, nice and smelly, you know, and they can get on it. 18 mils with that little size 4 hook alongside it. Didn't go wrong. I lost 2 fish in the whole time we were there, and I had over 50.
Yeah.
And Tony, when he got onto that rig, because he used something else when we first got there, even though I advised him not to,
Yeah.
I showed him another rig a few years ago, which was the noodle. And he had that on. I said, you don't need that. We're out in France, and these fish love eating.
Yeah.
There's none of this, oh, they'll sneak up. If there's a bit of food in front of them, they'll eat it,
Yeah.
because if they don't, bloody another fish will eat it.
Yeah.
And, you know, to lose 2 fish out of 50 odd takes, and the 2 fish I lost, Tony had a fish on, he went across my line and he turned the hook out. So that was one.
Yeah.
So I had 1 hook pull, right? Then I come back, and on my little lake up the road there, up the top, Heron Lake, I was fishing little dumbbells, little squid dumbbells with a bunch of maggots on the end, and I was putting quite a lot of maggot in up there because I thought this is the way to roll to catch that fish that I'm after, red October.
Yeah.
Well, when we got to high summer, I had to stop the maggots because I just couldn't fish them. The fry were annihilating everything I put in. So I had to go to the boilies. And then, of course, I went to this rig again. And I fished it. With a smaller hook length, about 6-inch, 5-6-inch hook length. But everything the same, with a loop at the back end.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that when I held it up, but there's a loop, and then obviously you pull the rubber up over the top of it so you can click them on and click them off.
Yeah.
And of course I carried on catching up there quite well as well. But you know, it's nothing fancy.
Yeah.
It's you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
It's like, look at some of the older things, like Calder the other week, brought out the weight on the hook and everything else. You know, that's from years ago. Everyone was doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not something that he's invented, but he's gone back to it.
Yeah.
And if you can go back in carp fishing to things that we've done years ago
Yeah.
and start using them again. I'll tell you an instance, right? I went up to Tattershall Lakes and I was fishing the big lake, right?
Yeah.
When I'm fishing on the big lake, there's a bit of weed there, everything else. I use HMS Liberty. I can send my baits out to where I want to get them, to the holes in the weed, right? And when she was going out, I was using stiff hinges,
Yeah.
right? And it's very successful. I caught the biggest fish in the lake twice. Well, I presume it's the biggest fish. It could be a bigger one, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I caught it twice, and that was on a stiff hinge.
Yeah.
All right. Then, all right, I booked a week's holiday in the little lake behind. Now, this little lake behind's probably an acre. All right. It's got loads and loads of lovely carp in it. All right. And you know, somebody like me, if I went on there, I've got to catch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyway, I've turned up. It's pissing down the rain, and I couldn't believe my luck. All right. First cast, catch the biggest fish in the lake, a common,
Yeah.
which was just under 30 pounds.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a holiday. I'm there for Beverly, and we can watch telly and sling the rods out.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, you go there to get runs.
Yeah.
And anyway, the guy who was in the cabin next door, he owned it.
Yeah.
And he said to me, he goes, "Oh, I've been dying to get that fish." He said, "You've come here and you caught it straight away." I said, "That's how we roll." I said, "You can't beat the main line."
Yeah.
Anyway, I had 2 or 3 fish off the back where he fishes, because he went out to get some food and he said, "Yeah, I'll fish on the back, do what you want. But when I come back, obviously I'm going to fish."
Yeah.
Anyway, that night, I didn't have Liberty then.
Yeah.
Right, and I just had a spom, and from the swim I was fishing, right, it was 10 wraps out. I put a lead out there, and it felt quite hard the bottom. It's gonna, you know, like you've got loads of fish in a small area.
Yeah.
They're gonna root the bottom out, but also you've got tench and bream in there, so
Yeah.
you don't want to catch them, do you? So what I did, I got Mainline to send me some 80mm boilies,
Yeah.
and because I'm on holiday, I took a few up there with me.
Yeah.
And what happened on that first night, I stuck roughly about 4 kilos, something 3-4 kilo out there, and that guy, he came back, and he was fishing on the back under the trees, in the tree line side. And hang on. Yeah, he was fishing under the tree line. So and he had he had about 3 or 4 fish, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the morning, he said to me, "Oh, where you put all that bait out?" He said, "They were crashing all night." And I had 2 rods on it, and I had them on stiff hinges, because because I'd fished the other lake and come across onto that one. All right, it's a police car going down the A14 at 300 miles an hour with his blue light on, shouting, "Nick, Nick, 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 Nick." Yeah. So, all right. That following evening, I put another 3-4 kilo out there, and I was sitting watching the telly, and I thought, there's only one thing going to happen here, because I was fishing with a stiff hinge, obviously, I put all that bait out and that's all sitting on the bottom.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I made one of these rigs up.
Yeah.
Right. And the running lead and done all the business. Well, cut a long story short, the next 24 hours, I had 18 fish out of there.
Yeah.
And it was rocking. And I was catching them in the day as well, which don't normally happen.
Right.
And just doing something a bit simple
Yeah.
pays dividends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's you. I think a lot of people make everything too complicated.
Yeah.
On my rigs, I don't use anything. I don't use any putty, anything else. I'm not knocking people who do it. If you're happy with what you're doing, do it.
Yeah.
And if that's the way you're getting it, I'll get enough bites, and I don't do anything too fancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's mad.
Keep it simple. Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
But like when I said to you about your lead arrangement, you know, like we've gone out to France, so I've used helicopter because we're casting.
Yeah.
You can't use boats. You can use boats to bait up, but you got to cast it.
Yeah.
So the best thing to cast, I've done the helicopter rig and moved the bead up, so that when that went in, like it goes in about 9 inches to a foot.
Yeah.
When that goes in, and a big long hook length. And when I say long, I mean like 1.5 foot.
Yeah.
1'9", something like that. Massive, great big hook lengths. And because everyone's going, yeah, got to go small. We didn't. We went long.
Yeah.
So that was that. Now I'm sitting here fishing like now. I've got the long hook length on. I've got a running lead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
Nice one.
How many people do you know use running lead?
In all honesty, there's not. I couldn't tell you.
You couldn't tell me.
No, I've not seen anyone use one.
Right. When was the last time you used running lead?
A few years ago now.
Yeah. See, a few years ago. All this stuff that was a few years ago is there for the taking.
Yeah.
It's there for the taking.
Still there.
All these little bits and pieces and are all there. See, I'm old school and I live in the past.
Yeah.
So why have I got to do anything fancy? Why have I got to go to, you know, all these different tackle manufacturers for end tackle and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And use the latest because this is that.
Yeah. No, true.
You haven't got to.
No.
You save yourself a few quid and all.
Yeah. Hey,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's look at it logically, right? Number one, what's the best colour for a pop-up? Right?
Yeah. Yellow.
Yeah, we say yellow, right? And pink.
Yeah.
I used a lot of pinks when I was using maggots a lot. Little pink barrels. But it's how you're fishing, right? But how do we know what's best? Right? You fish with zigs. All right, certain colours work at certain times, but have you ever gone up to a fish and said to a fish, what's the best colour?
Yeah.
You don't know, do you?
No.
Be honest, Dean.
Yeah.
Let's look at it logically. If I said to you, right, do you know a fish that's told you what colour it likes best?
I can honestly say I haven't. No.
No. And nobody has.
No.
So we don't know.
No.
When it goes down there in deep water.
Yeah.
It's like people turn around and go, oh, don't use that hook. It's too bright. It shines. Don't use that line. They can see it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, they can see it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm looking at it in this lake at the moment. It's like bloody chocolate, the water.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that they're going to swim up, look at it, and go, oh, I ain't eating that. I can see that.
No. No.
It's logic, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, a few months ago, I did a bit of an experiment. I had 3 rods. I had one with your standard line on. I had one with like a lime green line on. I had one with a dark red line on. And I caught 15 fish, 48 hours, and I couldn't. There was each line was more or less the same. I had the same amount of fish on each line practically. So the colour of the line made 0 difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have seen a bright yellow line when fish are on the surface and the water's clear. You can hold fish in an area if you put that across.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
The thing is, when you're fishing on the bottom, when you're fishing on a zig, what are you doing there? You're fishing guy, aren't you? You got like 11, 12 pound hook lengths on, tiny little hooks and everything else.
Yeah.
You know, I can see it there because if the water's clear, because if the water's like chocolate, zig fishing ain't really the way to go, is it?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's you know, in a clear water they can see it straight away.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah. So there you go.
Yeah. Right. So, few more questions from the members to put to you, if that's all right.
Right.
Okay.
Fire away.
What's the worst thing you forgot to take with you when fishing?
My rods. Me rods.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're surprised at how many people say that, to be honest with you.
When you get to 74,
Yeah.
right, and you're sneaking out of the house in the middle of the night, and you get halfway up. I live next to the A14,
Yeah.
and where I fish takes an hour and a bit to get there, and it's a straight run on a straight road.
Yeah.
And you get halfway there, and I've left loads of things at home.
Yeah.
I've left me bait at home, and I've had to come all the way back home. It's funny because my wife, Beverly, she'd turn around and she'd say, "You left your bait at home?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Oh, why didn't you go and buy some sweet corn? You seem to buy a bit of that now and again." I said, "No, it's not just that. I need my boilies."
Yeah.
And I've had to drive all the way home.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's got to be the worst.
Yeah.
And as you get older, it will get worse.
Oh.
You'll forget everything.
Oh, can't wait for that then.
Yeah, you got all that to come.
Yeah.
And people don't realise I was all right when I was 60.
Yeah.
I was all right when I was 65. But now I'm 74. The old brain scrambles a lot quicker.
Yes.
But, so there's your answer.
Yeah. What's the funniest thing you've seen on the bank?
Let me tell you one thing.
Go on then.
Right, when I say that, a friend of mine, Stevie Stone, when I was into sea fishing, I used to crew on his boat.
Yeah.
And one day, he's got this little Jack Russell. And one day, we went out in the boat, and as we was going out on the boat, his dog was running along the sea wall, barking at him because we was going, and he weren't on the boat. That was quite funny. That was one of the guys who fishes on the boat made up a cartoon, and in it was his little Jack Russell barking like the clappers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, far away.
Yeah. So what's the funniest thing you've seen happen on the bank?
Funniest thing. Well, while I was out in Fisherville, I was getting a picture done, sitting on a bucket, and I fell arse over tit backwards into the lake. Yeah, I went in.
Yeah.
I went in. It was quite funny, really, because I put a picture up of on the internet that somebody took who was standing there.
Yeah.
Right. Who took the picture.
Yeah.
And because I went backwards into the lake, the owner of the lake, Raphael, and the owner of this lake were worried about me falling in. And we got loads of people complaining because we'd left the fish on the unhooking mat.
All right.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are bitches on the internet,
Yeah.
and you just, it's just that is where they are.
Yeah.
But I've had all sorts happen
Yeah.
to me. But some of the fun. Oh, I'll tell you a funny stuff because I remember this. Right, what happened? The wife and I, we went out to Abbey Lakes out in France.
Yeah.
And we got out there, right? Got all set up, and because of who I am, I have a laugh with a lot of the people out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're sitting in the swim. There's a young lad who's on us on a point. I think it's Fox Lake we was on.
Yeah.
Was it Fox or the first one, the Heron? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're on the lake, right? Having a while of a time. The next two swims to my right are shut, right? But I can walk a rod down there in a set of chest waders.
Yeah.
And walk down and place my bait in front of a weed bed.
Yeah.
Anyway, but when I get back to the swim, I can't see what's coming down in the bay.
Yeah.
The only time I can know what's going on is when my rod goes off.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, we're sitting there having a whale of a time. All right. And all of a sudden, a young couple turn up. Sort of, I don't know, early 30s, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, they turn up and they're from Holland, and we had a little bit of a tete-a-tete with them, and we had a couple of beers together.
Yeah.
And he turned around and he said, "We are really pleased to be here on holiday because we have 8 children at home, and we can never get a holiday, but our family are looking after us, and so we've come here for a long weekend."
Yeah.
And he said, "And would you mind if we went in next door?" And I said, "No, you can go in next door." Anyway, I'm sitting in my swim, it's all set up, they've done everything. And all of a sudden I get a bit of an occurrence on my right-hand rod, which is down. So I get the boat, jump in the boat, start with the rod going down to where the fish is. And when I get there in the weed, it's stuck. And I give it a bit of a pull, and as I pulled it up, there's a bloody coipy on the end, and it's dead. Right? And I thought, Jesus Christ. It weren't a real big one.
Yeah.
But I pulled it out, and anyway, I went back down to Beverly and I went, "Look at this." And she went, "Oh, it's awful." I said, "I'll go and show matey next door." So anyway, I've gone through the trees that splits the swim up, and as I've got round there, right, he's laying half in and half out of bivvy, right, and she's giving him a happy ending with her mouth, and I thought, fucking hell, I suppose she's giving him a blowjob, right? So I jumped in the motor, and I drove round the other side, which is the opposite side of the bay, and a young bloke was there with his bit of crumpet.
Yeah.
And I said, as I drove in, I went, "Look over there." I said, "Look at him. He's laying on the bed waiting for an happy ending." And yeah, that was just so funny because I didn't know how to look and talk to him afterwards. But you can see why he's got 8 kids at home. They were like a couple of rabbits.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah. I'm not sure we can top that story, so yeah. That's a good one.
No, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Nice couple as well.
No, yeah. She was very nice to him. Fair to say.
Yeah. Yeah. How about that?
Yeah.
They didn't even You'd have only been on the lake a few hours, I know. I wouldn't mind if you'd sat there for a week.
Yeah. Yeah, we got bored very quickly, didn't they? Right. So obviously back in the day you used to do your discos in the bivvy live on Facebook. So,
Oh, here we go. I
yeah.
wonder when that was going to
Yeah.
come in on the old right.
How did
When I
they
was
come back?
when I was younger, so much younger than today,
Yeah.
right? I had a contract with Prologic, which
Yeah.
is the Spencer Sports, and obviously Maver.
Yeah.
And as a paid consultant,
Yeah.
you got to go fishing.
Yeah.
Well, in the winter, when you're sitting all alone and everything else, right, on the lakeside, I just got fed up.
Yeah.
And what happened, I like house music.
Yeah.
When I was 60, my wife booked up for us to go to Ibiza, so I'd go and see Tiesto.
Yeah.
And I was up there with 12,000 people going bang, bang, bang. Come on, Tiesto.
Yeah.
And it all stemmed from there. And of course, every week we went to the happy shops,
Yeah.
like not B&Q, what's B&M's and it.
Oh yeah.
And you go in there and they got this latest light thing, and I just kept building and building. At one time, I had a smoke machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kev Knight bought me a smoke machine. I had another lad buy me a set of lights to put in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
While I was doing those, I think I had 1.5 million hits.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah.
Mad.
Yeah.
At one, when I think it was about the second or the third one that I did, I started with a shoe in my hand,
Yeah.
right? Because all the nutters keep going, shoe on the head, shoe on the head. And of course, I'm sitting there with a brand new pair of shoes that I'd blagged at one of the shows.
Yeah.
And at one stage, we had 35,000 people watching it.
Yeah.
Mad.
Crazy.
Mad.
Yeah.
I can't, I do quite a bit of that with, like online.
Yeah.
I've got quite a good following of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, so that was that. But that was all done, right, on a system that was a little bit bigger than a mobile phone.
Yeah.
And if you walked 20 yards away from my swim, you couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
I just rigged it up. I had my phone plugged in with an earpiece,
Yeah.
right, which you saw I was round my neck when I was doing it,
Yeah.
so that it picks up the sound from the box.
Yeah.
Because I used to get quite a few comments. Oh, if he was next door to me, I'll go round and beat him up and throw him in.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't even know I was doing it. And when I was doing most of it, I was on Monk's Pier, right? And you got 24-hour a day motorway right next door to where you're fishing.
Yeah.
And you can't hear anything anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
All those lovely, see the friendly. If I'd have got invited all the friendlies,
Yeah.
I'd have been all right.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be none of that.
No.
But it's all these keyboard warriors who love to have a pop.
They do, unfortunately.
Pop, but the pop.
Yeah. So what's your top 5 tunes for the bank then?
Top 5 tunes for the bank.
Yeah.
Don't. Well, I like all the old school bangers, don't I?
Right.
All the oldie ones. Couldn't tell you. I just love it all.
Yeah.
I love everything as long as it's got a bang. It's got a good bass line and bangs.
Yeah.
You know. The thing is, because my wife says, when he comes home, he don't say a word.
Yeah.
And yet, when I do that, when Jan Porter, when I was with Shimano,
Yeah.
because my first consultancy was with Shimano,
Yeah.
we did, because Jan like mucking about with the tunes and everything else,
Yeah.
and we did the get it in the pot thing up at the NEC. And at one stage, we had 250 people round watching the get it in the pot with the loud music and the casting the little float
Yeah.
into the pot. And we got health and safety on us because we'd blocked all the aisles and there weren't no way out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was. So I think it was Sunday afternoon. And some old boy walked up to the pot and I dressed him up. I put his hat on and I helped him all the way through. And it was about 2-3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. There was a young kid come in and he won it. He'd been practicing all year.
Yeah.
Get it in the pot. Get it in the pot. And of course, that old boy put it in the pot twice and he had one bounce out.
Yeah.
And I said, look, he can't have it. And all the crowd was on my back.
Yeah.
And they're all going, let him have it. I said, he's got to win it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I walked over to Jan Porter and I said, we give him another 3. So we give him another 3 goes. And I turned around to all the crowd who were booing and everything else and said, we've decided to give him another 3 goes. He's got 3 goes to get it in the pot and he will walk away with 2 Shimano bait runners.
Yeah.
And anyway, it got like the tunes are pumping. And there was a tune called Hypnotize.
Right.
And of course, when he's swinging that float backwards and forwards, I said to him, just get into the swing of that, going backwards and forwards, and the bass playing in the background. Just get in it. And the first time he went in the 3 that he had, it went in and come out. And of course, the crowd went mental. And they said, let him have it. Let him have it. And I said, no, he can't.
Yeah.
He's got to win it. Anyway, he took his second shot and he was all over the place. And I now said to him, deep breaths, deep breaths. And I walked round the back of the pot. So I'm looking straight at him. And I can't remember his name. I think it was Alan or something. I said, come on, Alan, you can get it in there. Get it in the pot. All right. And he started swinging it and everything else. And the moment he let it go, I knew it was going in the pot.
Yeah.
And it went in the pot and it brought the house down.
Yeah.
And of course, he walked away with 2 bait runners.
Nice.
Brand new bait runners.
No, can't argue with that.
No. But the kid who came on the Saturday and did it, he just went bang, 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 3 in the pot.
Yeah.
And he said, and he had twin powers.
Yeah.
He had 2 twin power reels.
Yeah. Nice.
Because he tried to win it the year before. But it became quite a thing, that did.
Yeah.
I used to love them shows.
Yeah.
Can't do it now I'll get too tired, my legs ache and everything else. I don't like all the standing up.
Yeah.
I haven't been to a show. I think the last show I went to was probably at the Essex show.
Yeah.
But not where it is now. I used to go to the 5 Lake show, which Tim Paisley and co used to run that one.
Yeah.
That was a place we did to get in the pot there, didn't we?
Yeah.
But they had a lake in the venue, and we put life rings in,
Yeah.
and they cast like a little feeder, and that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Because what I used to do was run round the hall, blagging prizes for the kids.
Yeah.
Right, and mainly from the holiday companies.
Yeah.
And I would think that in the 3 years that we did it, we probably had £500,000 worth of holidays. All free.
Yeah.
All free.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had, there was one, this little girl, right? Their parents had never been on holiday.
Right.
And the little girl, I couldn't find somewhere for her to go, and I ran round, and there was a Spanish company there. And don't ask me how I got them to sponsor us. So it was on the River Ebb.
Yeah.
She won, and the pair of them broke down and cried, and
Oh,
it
no.
was it's quite
Yeah.
emotional, really quite emotional.
Yeah. No,
But
that's amazing. Yeah.
yeah, it was fabulous for them kids who went off to France for free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like Robin Hood running round round the Five Lakes,
Yeah.
and obviously it was quite good fun to watch
Yeah.
for quite a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had. I even had one bloke. Right? It was so funny. There was these three blokes sitting in the corner, a little crowd of them,
Yeah.
and they were sort of having a little pop. And what happened? I forgot one of the prizes, and we had a set of rods.
Yeah.
Right. Well, these were like Winfield rods. I'm not joking. They were probably worth about 20 quid each.
Right.
And I just went, oh, never mind. And I threw them in the pond.
Yeah.
And the geezer dived in, right? And he had his mobile phone in his pocket. Right. So he's got an iPhone in his pocket, and he's just dived in for about 50, 60 quid's worth of rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not very smart, is it?
No. Yeah, we did quite a bit like that.
Yeah.
What other questions? Come on.
Right. Well, we're actually down to the last question now.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Is it a good one?
Well, I asked this one to everybody. What's your favourite bankside guilty pleasure? So that can be something you might watch on TV, or your favourite snack, or anything really. You like to pass the time, or
My guilty pleasure. Well, I used to smoke Moroccan, so it would have been a Moroccan, but I don't smoke anymore, so it's not that. My guilty pleasure. What's my guilty pleasure now? Oh, hold on. I haven't got a Scooby.
yeah.
I like what do I like? I haven't really got a guilty pleasure now.
No.
No.
No favourite snacks or anything you like to watch on?
I don't do snacks. The only thing I do is these. Oh man, you got to do. I don't know what you drink on the bank,
Yeah.
right? But have you seen these? These are the nuts.
No, I've not seen them
New
before.
York coffees.
Yeah.
Right. If you start drinking New York coffees, you will never drink another coffee again.
Yeah.
These ones are caramel.
Yeah.
And I would say that is my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
See, my missus knew I was drinking them. She'd go mental because I'm diabetic and it's got sugar in it. And,
Right.
Because this is the 3-in-1.
Yeah.
Right. New York coffees. They're 85p for 10.
Right.
And a guy who was on Monk's Pit got me into these.
Yeah.
And the thing is, all you do is just add boiling water.
Nice and
And
simple.
away you go.
Yeah.
That's one. Have I got another one? Let me have a look. I know I'm not supposed to have these because Joe told me off. Joe told me off the other day.
Yeah.
Having these. Hang on, I'm just going to put you down a second.
Yep.
while I find them. But I just love them because they're so tasty and they're hot as well. Like, this is my pot of loads here. I look at these. Them.
Oh yeah.
I like them as well.
Yeah.
The only trouble is they blow your bloody arse off. Do you realise I'm the only person here? There's nobody else fishing.
You're the only
So
one
I
awake.
can sit here and go, bollocks! And
Yep.
no one takes any notice.
Nobody knows.
Last night, they turned up in the cars over the back here.
Yeah.
And it was wicked. All you could hear was doof, 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 doof.
Yeah.
And then the old wheel turned up
All
and
right.
they all scattered.
Spoiled
But,
sport. Yeah.
you don't normally get that. Normally
No.
it's quite quiet. Quite quiet. And you're not allowed to be here when the horses are running.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice one.
Other guilty pleasures. Well, I'm not joking. Probably, if I fished on here, because when I come back off my holidays, because I'm going on holiday on Sunday,
Yeah.
I might come down here, but I'll probably go back up the top. And when
Yeah.
I'm up the top, it's like a whole different world to down here.
Yeah.
You don't see anybody, and it's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
But just behind me, over to the left, probably 200 yards,
Yeah.
is the Holiday Inn.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think I could sit here too long without nipping over and having a beer.
Yeah. Why
You
not?
know,
Yeah.
it's only just there.
Yeah.
And I think if I was here in the summer and sitting on this lake, it's got some wicked fish in here. It's got 600 fish in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, I reckon probably 400 of them are 20s.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Nearly every fish you catch is a 20.
Yeah.
But I want Red October out of there.
Yeah.
And there's another one in there, an all big fat one.
Yeah.
I've seen that, but trying to catch the bloody thing, it's not good.
No.
It's been open for 5 years.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever caught it.
Yeah. Well,
But
fingers
we
crossed.
know it's there. We know it's there, but for some reason, as I say, this season I've had 97 fish out of there,
Yeah.
and I haven't crossed paths with it yet.
No.
But I'll tell you what, I will be in that pub. If I do, I will just bring everything in,
Yeah.
and they'll have to carry me out on and put me on what's his name?
Yeah.
On a mobile barra. I'll have to take my barra over there so they can wheel me back.
I wouldn't blame you.
That's going to be one hell of a fish.
Yeah.
Is.
Well, hope you get your name on it, mate. I really do.
Oh, don't.
Yeah.
Don't. The Hunt for Red October. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen that? The
I
film?
I have. Was it Sean Connery?
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, I saw it a long time ago. Yeah.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
The Hunt for Red October.
Yeah. Nice.
So that's about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll meet again.
Yeah.
Don't know where, don't know when. Right, but I hope we meet some sunny day.
Yeah. And can we officially say that we got it on with the Don?
You certainly can.
Oh,
And maybe next year you can get it on with the Don and I'll have Red October.
hey, that'd be good. I'll be keeping an eye out for that one, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. All right then.
All right. Well, thanks very much.
Bye, all you friendly carpers. And it was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Bye.
It was amazing. Thank you very much. And I appreciate you giving up your time.
Thank you.
Hope you have a few more bites, and I'll keep an eye out on social media for you.
All right. No problem.
Cheers, mate. Catch you
See
later.
you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.